Hey y'all, it's Alicia and welcome back to Alicia's Crafty Hoplop. It is still Friday. My hair is now done, as you can see. Student meetings are video, so I had to go and fix my hair a little. And yes, a wardrobe change, but that's just because I went downstairs to pick up your mail, because mail came super early today, before 9 a.m., which is unheard of, but it did. So that, I'm so careful. That meant taking off everything I was wearing, even though I'd gotten dressed, and putting it all into the laundry. Oh yes, our electric bill is insane, folks, but that's how careful I'm being. Now, again, I want to support what Country Girl first said today in her video, her lovely video of her on a rocking chair knitting with the wind chimes. Oh, if you're like me and unable to leave your crowded apartment, I highly suggest you go check out Country Girl first video. It was such a gift, Sheila. I felt like I was sitting out there with you and I got to hear the wind chimes. For just a moment, I got to escape Brooklyn, and that was truly a pleasure. I love Brooklyn. I'm definitely a diehard New Yorker. I always have been, but I am ready, folks, for Florida sunshine. That's all I gotta say. I'm a little tired of my apartment. I'm sure we all are. And so joining Miss Sheila this morning, oh, if you have not seen her video yet, make sure to go stop by. If you need a break from your home and the four walls that surround you, nothing could be better. But she also had some good little words of wisdom. This is definitely a panic-inducing time. This is a stressful time. Even if we don't talk about it, we are living with it. We are. And everybody we know is touched by it, right? And if we don't know someone directly, then we know someone here who's been either they've survived it already, thank goodness, or someone in their family still struggling with it. So this is tough. And she talked about the impact of the news on us. And I try to watch enough to keep informed, but not so much that it seeps into my consciousness, because it's too hard, y'all. It's hard to fight this fight if you listen to that every day. So I loved what Miss Sheila had to say too. But if you want to get a little escape, go watch her video. It'll give you a breath of fresh air for a few minutes and a chance to just put this whole thing on pause. I loved it. Thank you, Sheila, for making that video. Truly. You gave me an out today and I really appreciated it. I'm on my lunch break and it's a short one. So I have a few things I want to cover off with you that are important. The first is I want to run a special program. I'm going to do a more formal thumbnail for it and launch of it this weekend, but it's going to be called Support an Angel. So we have had people in our community who over the last year have been particularly generous. I don't share with you often who they are. Things magically appear that are needed, and that is because they would like their anonymity protected. And I've honored that. And only in one case did it go bad. Misty C, or I didn't realize that she wasn't supposed to reveal that it was Misty C who bought her the die cutter. And that time the cat got out of the bag. But normally, we are all very protective of the angels. We don't talk about who they are. They prefer to do a lot of their giving secretly. That's just how it goes. And throughout this crisis, they've shifted away from buying supplies, like craft supplies, to doing something I'm calling crafting with a purpose. They have been instead having all sorts of things delivered across the country for people in need that are not craft related. It's either food, medical supplies, gloves, rubbing alcohol. They have filled need after need after need, and they have done all of this thanklessly. And it's really quite remarkable. These are an incredible group of women. And lately we've had a couple of new people join their ranks who have been secretly making and doing and sending and supporting. So I want to run a program for these people. I think that right now we can't do much to get mail out. We can't really send proper happy mail, or most of us can't. Cheryl was saying today, like, she can't get anyone to come pick up her boxes, and I feel your pain. I can't either. So I can't send out a box. But we can get envelopes out. And these are the types of women who would be just as happy getting a handmade card as they would getting a gift. That's not why they do this. But I do think right now this group of women who've worked tirelessly for all of us and our safety, and before that for our happiness, I think it would be nice if we could make a handmade card and send it to them. But I need to protect most of their identities. A couple of them, I'll give you an example. One of them is Sabrina Crafty Mom and Son, who has been making and sending masks all over the country. Not just for me, but for loads. And so there's one who sometimes announces herself. But most of the angels, you don't know who they are and you never will. So what I'm going to be doing is running a program where I'm going to ask you all to make a handmade card for one of the angels and to send it to me. And I'm going to get them all off to them. It's important, folks. These are people that throughout the last year have done nothing but give. And they've done so thanklessly. And right now, a couple of them are going through a hard time. And I know that the best way that we can let them know that we appreciate them and that we celebrate them is by making them something. And because of our mail crisis and this COVID-19, we also want to protect their safety. So a card is perfect. And it's not hard to make a card. We can all do it. So I will do a proper thumbnail for this over the weekend, and I will give you all the details then. But just a heads up, I'm asking for cards for our angels. They could use a little love right about now. I know we all could, but I think this is really important. These are women who are just being amazing. And again, silently saving so many lives. Yeah, silently saving. It's remarkable. My next piece was I not just talking about Ciao and the 70's collection and Miss Rosa Kelly, who is who I learned a lot of skills from that I used to make both Jelly Bean and Carmen's books. Not entirely, but I used a lot of. Has created a Ciao 70's album. Oh, I'm putting it down below. This is a chance for you to see this beautiful collection, but Rosa's also done an outstanding job of creating a beautiful book. Now, she's using it as an album, but you could learn a lot from what she's done and apply it to all different kinds of bookmaking, even card making, because she cuts out some really cool shapes. So I'll put a link to that down below, but just go check it out to see the Ciao line, because it's really cool. I found out, Elsa Cleary and Lisa Douglas and Lisa Pate too had suggested I check out Walmart.com for craft supplies. And folks, they're right. Maybe in store they don't carry the same things, but online, boy, do they carry a lot of craft stuff. And they carry Ciao and at a reasonable price. It's still pricey. It's still $20 a pad. And I'm over my craft budget for this month, so I will not be getting it right now. But in the future, I'll be ordering that from Walmart. Isn't that amazing? So if you're at home looking for some craft supplies, I gotta tell you, Walmart is a great resource. These women were absolutely right. It's a fabulous resource for a lot of craft supplies, and you might be surprised at what's available through them. I know I was pretty astounded. My husband and I were placing an order for some disinfecting spray for me because I'm almost out, as I told you. And they just restocked Microban, which is stronger than Lysol. So we got me some, but we needed like an extra $4 to make the order come up to free shipping. And I don't want to order something that I don't need. I'm well stocked in my pantry. Walmart is still delivering me pieces from an order I placed 4 weeks ago. So like today I got canned corn. This week I got in a ton of soup. Like as stuff has been restocked, they're sending it out. So I placed that order almost a month ago and now I'm getting it. So I'm well stocked. And I'm not food hoarding or toilet paper hoarding or any of that craziness. So I don't want to order something and take it away from a family that needs it. So we were looking like, what do we do for this $4? Well, I ended up getting library pockets. They have library pockets and library cards. Oh, it's so cool. So you should check out Walmart for craft supplies. You might be amazed at what they have. I wanted to share with you, I'm done my design team project for Inlovearts, so I have no obligation to the company to do this. And that says something if I'm doing it anyway, because it means I want to share something with you that I think might be helpful. Y'all know I got this die in my design team package, and you all know that cartons are not my strength, but I said this year I'm going to learn how to do them. I showed you on the BB Craft video. I was able to build this with you on video. That's how easy this was to build. What I really like about this die is that it cuts cleanly no matter what paper I tested it on. And I tried it on Prima, on my gold foil thin paper that tears easily. I tried it on my Minte. I tried it on Maggie Holmes. It has an option for a really cute tuck enclosure, or like how I did it for this model to show you. I chose not to use it and to use a pearl instead. Super simple to put together, really, really easy. I love that it's mini, but it still actually can hold things. Like it could hold 2 Hershey Kisses. It could hold a small lip balm, not the long ones, but the other kind. It could hold also a sequins mix. It could hold a couple of those Easter size Twix bars. Yeah, it could hold quite a bit. It's a pretty amazing little die. So this was on clearance sale for like $4 and change. So I thought I would like let you guys know my review of this is that it's quite solid. The one thing you might struggle with, those of you that aren't good carton makers or like me need more practice, what you might struggle with is, do you see here? See the score lines in here? Okay. And here for the folding. On my Sizzix box die, for good and for bad, those score lines really etch deeply into the paper, which means that if you're too rough while bone folding, it'll tear. Or if it's thin, poor quality paper, the paper might tear, just because the Sizzix one etches those score lines in very deeply. This one etches them in a little too softly. Not on every bit of paper, but on, let's say, my thicker, sorry, that's my coffee maker, I'm forever making coffee. But on my thicker paper like Prima or Minte, you couldn't really see the score lines. So that might irk some of you. I'll tell you what I did though, that it worked just fine. All I did was, when I saw that, is I just looked at the die, right? And I figured out where the folds were, and when I actually pushed where they were, they folded like they were supposed to. So I just used the die as a reference on my thicker paper. So even though that's like the one thing I would alert you to, I still think this is worth it at $4 and change. And again, I didn't have to do this because I'm done my project share for the month for them. I'm doing it because actually I thought this was a good buy. I thought it cut really well, and I do think it's, I mean, if I can make this very easily, any of you can. I'm just, cartons are not my thing. So the fact that this came out so well each and every time on every kind of paper says something about the die. But I did want to alert you to that. For those of you that are looking for very deeply etched score lines, you're not going to get that. You are going to, on a thicker paper, you are going to have to reference the die. But again, once you push where it's supposed to be, they're there. They just don't show up very strongly. On the Sizzix one, the downside is they etch in so deeply you really can't tear the paper. So there's pluses and minuses always, y'all, and we have to share these little tips with each other. The other thing I wanted to say was, I loved what Crafty Michelle said the other week, and I thought we should talk about that for a second. She was saying that some people, lately been complaining, like if people say too often on their channel, or if they say one word over and over again. Like if I'm astounded by a crafter, I might say amazing 4 times in a video. And she was saying it's like ridiculous because, we're supposed to have our channels to have real dialogue with each other. It's not a TV station. And I cracked up laughing, but I've been giving that a lot of thought lately. And here's what I got to say about that. I think it's true. I think we each create our channel based around what we want it to be. And mine is Hoplop Land. I try my best to teach you what I learn. I make a lot of mistakes and I share them with you. I tell you when a product works really well for me. When I did that BB Craft glue share, I was so genuinely excited to do that because for me it was a life-changing product. Now, Dee said for her, too many tips, too many choices. I get it. But for me, that I'm never going to live without those. If those hadn't worked, I would have told you that straight up. I'm never going to not tell you. Just like I told you about these score lines, I'm always going to be honest with you. But you know what? My channel is not about perfection. I'm a professor. I teach full time, which means that I could present every day on here very polished and professionally, and I could make sure that you never see like a broom in the background, or that you wouldn't see like my pillow behind my back. Oh, I could do all that. I could, and I know to do that, especially as a former creative director or somebody who teaches online. I know how to do that. So why don't I? That's not what this is. For me, this is like sitting with a group of friends, having an honest chit chat about something that someone has sent you, a lesson you've learned, a tool you just discovered, a beautiful paper pad. This is not HSN. This is not Alicia's Crafty Hoplop TV show on the Craft Network. No, this is, you're sitting with Alicia in her Brooklyn living room, having either a coffee or a Diet Coke or a juice or a water, and we're chatting about the thing we love most of all, which is crafting. So I don't think people should have to count their ums. And I also think everyone has a right to design their channel any which way they want to. And we also have to be a little respectful, y'all. It took me a while to learn I needed extra lighting. I told you I went to Jelly Bean. I'm like, help me out, girly. And still I don't have it all perfected. I don't. I've got the tripod thing and I don't use it very often because I don't care for it. But those things are not cheap, folks. And, you know, $20 here, $20 there adds up. Is it right to expect that every single person who has a YouTube channel has a professional setup of lighting? I think, you know, if that's not what this was meant to be, if you want that, you got to go on to the Food Network or the Craft Network or find yourself a professional TV program. This is about real people being real, you know, sharing what they know and their love of making. It's just, I think it's just that simple. For me, there was nothing better than Country Girl first video today. And she was on a rocking chair. Yep, on her front porch. And there weren't any fancy lights showing down on her. So, look, I love Miss Ebony's channel. And I tell you, I am wowed. She can do a project here in 5 minutes or less. I love her professionalism. I love how cleanly she does everything. I love how organized she is. So I watch her. That's my choice. Now, I don't want my channel to run like that, but I love it in hers. I think everyone, you know what? You don't like a channel, don't watch it. You like a channel, you watch it. I forget 99% of the time to say, please hit the bell. Please subscribe. I just do. That's just not what I'm here for. I'm here because we are developing relationships with one another. We are sharing information with each other. We are surprising each other with crafts and treats. Sarah, Rare Root Crafts, is teaching us that we could make way nicer flowers, and she is going to give us that tutorial. Thank you, Sarah. We're so excited. We really are. I got so many emails and texts about that flower. Oh, thank you. So Ruru is going to give us that flower tutorial. If you have not checked out that prize pack I got from her, oh my goodness, you so have to. You have to check out that video and all those embellishments she made. They are wowzers. But there's a prime example. That was not, I know to showcase a product when I show it. But that's not what I was doing. I took you down the rabbit hole I was in. I was so excited about each and every item that I was genuinely reacting to it. Now, for me, that's preferable to being fake and being like, check out how Sarah designed this. That's just not what I want this to be. That's just not what I want this to be. I'm okay with the fact that I say, I'm not kidding, a lot. And I'm still very grateful to Divian for making me that t-shirt, because that is who I am. And that's what this channel is about. So just a reminder, y'all, you don't have to be so professional that you count your ums. You don't have to have perfect lighting. I know I don't speak up often enough. I'm too soft-spoken, and I'm working on it. But this isn't HSN. It's not. Here, it's the hoblob. You're going to get things all good and bad. And mostly, you're just going to get a lot of heart and a lot of love for people making things. And hopefully, that's good enough. And I always say, you don't have to hang around a channel if it doesn't suit you. You got to find your home here. And I'm very, very grateful that I have a very large group of people that spend time with me each and every day on here who I adore and I'm very grateful for. And my life is much richer because of them. And I really want everybody on YouTube to find their home in the same way. So I'm saying all this especially for new crafters and new to YouTube crafters. Don't feel like you got to be perfect. Don't feel like you got to count the ums. Don't feel like if you don't know how to present something, you can't make a video. That's not what this forum is for. It's for being real and coming on and just being yourself. And quite frankly, that's good enough. Yeah, it sure is. Plus, I don't know about you all, but I always prefer a real person to like a phony perfect one. Yeah. All right, y'all. Don't forget to check out Rosa Kelly's 1970s album. It's a beaut. I'm putting the link below. Don't forget, if you have not checked out Sarah's beautiful, beautiful embellishments that she sent to me as part of my prize pack, please make sure to watch that video. Rare Root Crafts, folks, you want to subscribe to her. And again, can I have some prayers and well wishes for Suzanne Noco's family who are battling the coronavirus? Let's keep them in our thoughts and prayers. And to all of our frontline workers who are bravely keeping us alive. Thank you. Thank you so very much. All right, y'all. That is it for this girl. That was my lunch break video. I won't see you until tonight. I hope whatever you do, I hope it's something crafty. I hope you have a bunch of fun today. Happy weekend, y'all. Happy weekend.